FNAF inventions would suck in real life. Like, don't get me wrong, they're cool as hell, but they're also made to advance the plot of a homicidal maniac storyline that causes the deaths of countless people. So, needless to say, it would be a bad idea to bring them into real life. But if we were to get some of them, which ones would be the worst? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. And be sure to let me know in the comments what animatronic you'd like to meet in real life, as long as it's not Springtrap, because that's messed up. In a 10 Circus Baby. Let's start off with one of the deadliest animatronics in the game. Baby has an official death count of 2, the first being Elizabeth, William's daughter, and the other being Henry as we see in FNAF World. But it's not just the ability to kill that's crazy, it's the incredibly advanced technology inside the animatronic that's really impressive here. The ability to contain a whole child-grabbing claw and then also a containment chamber for said kid is pretty damn impressive. But also the ability to use pins on her body to change her appearance is also pretty insane. Not to mention all of her other features like ice cream dispensing and balloon inflating at her fingertips, but all of this is again overshadowed by the absolute carnage that Baby has the ability to cause. And honestly, that's probably just the tip of the iceberg, not even including the Fazbear Frights version that can change her appearance into an actual person. Oh wait, no, I guess that's the normal novels. Whatever. It's weird and scary. And at 9, mini-renas. Why are the mini-renas so goddamn creepy? They're not scary per se, but they literally tear Ballora to pieces, so there's something there, at the very least. The mini-renas are basically the robotic versions of those kids in your neighborhood that are always screaming or causing trouble at literally all hours of the day. And then they go to a nearby school, so you're never really rid of them and you gotta deal with them constantly. Or they run down the street when you knock at the door to see their older brother, and then their family is so damn lazy that you have to take off after him. So you end up chasing a toddler that's in nothing but a diaper down the street at 11 in the morning, catch him in front of your other friend's house, and then have the kid pulling at your hair and punching and kicking you all the way back to his house, and then people realize that you're not related. And then you don't even get a thank you for doing the parent's job. That's the moment I knew how Spider-Man felt when the police don't thank him for fighting the dude with 4 robot arms so that they don't have to. But that's a totally fictitious scenario that would be too ridiculous to happen in real life. Look, I know his older brother watches these videos, okay? So yeah, Roshane was a piece of work. And at 8, Nightmare Animatronics. While not the epitome of horror, the Nightmare Animatronics are certainly not the nicest of fellows. Not only that, but they are in fact not real. They're an illusion, which makes them even more terrifying if you ask me. Or like, illusion is not really the proper word because they're in a dream. Anyway, not only do these creations cause horrific visions to anyone who knows about them, but they also kill a coma patient. Crying Child, as we know, is in the hospital in FNAF 4, making this game entirely just a nightmare. However, getting caught by one of these animatronics causes him so much stress that he actually dies, which is insane when you look at it like that, okay? These are so scary to him that it gives him a heart attack, or just makes his heart stop working, or something. And at 7, the Scooper. Now, I know that you may be mad and think that this is a stupid point, but hear me out, alright? The Scooper may seem like a weird but kind of normal thing, at least by FNAF standards, but with the blueprint revealing how this thing actually works, it's incredible. It's such a feat of technology. It can inject whatever it ends up scooping with Remnant without really having any injection points, and its Remnant is a molten metal possessed by souls. And then, assuming my theory about Michael being a robot is wrong, it can then, by doing so, keep a person alive after removing their insides, replacing it with robot parts, and then those robotic parts leaving that body still leaves the flesh suit viable. So in essence, it just makes that person a walking case of flesh. Unless it didn't actually remove anything and instead just opened him up and then let the innards get in. But like, he flattens down like a pancake. Dude had no bones. That's impressive, but also terrifying. That would require some serious juice. Dude's juicing. And at 6, Fetch. Fetch was introduced in the Fazbear Frights books and is a robotic dog made by Fazbear Inc. It gets a little too loving. So much so that it will actually brutally murder the girl you want to ask to homecoming. So, sorry Peter, but at least you won't have to feel bad about sending her dad to prison. Either way, a robotic dog that will kill anything you love is absolutely horrifying and should be taken care of as soon as possible, if you know what I mean. Like, this is why you spay and neuter your animals, people. But in all seriousness, Could you imagine if this was a real thing? Like if you like randomly started getting texts from a robotic dog that followed you home, that instead of bringing you dead birds or squirrels, instead brings you the bloody arm of your crush. Yeah, that sounds like something the Winchesters would fight. Or that it would be on some other really weird CW show or some crime show or something, okay? Yeah, no thanks. Ignoring the Dean-inspired look today. Halfway through into number 5, Twisted Ones. Well, the Twisted Ones certainly do seem to live up to their name. The Twisted Animatronics are these horrifically disfigured creatures that get no love from their mother like an ugly duckling. The thing is though, they don't grow into swans. Instead, they use another bit of technology that I'll get into later to disguise themselves. They also dig deep into the ground and wait until the middle of the night to crawl out and take kids who wander away from their mommies. Yeah, this legit sounds like an urban legend that parents would tell their kids to make sure that they were home before dark. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about them. Although the whole crawling into a hole and then only coming out at night thing, I wish I could do that. I don't like dirt. And at 4, human robots. This is something I'm sure that some people won't think is scary. Maybe they'll think it's scary good, but hey, the fact that there are robots that are actually able to look like humans is horrifying. Like, that is such a scary thing. In the original FNAF novel trilogy, it's revealed that Charlotte, the main protagonist of the books, is in fact one in a series of robots meant to allow her to grow up properly after being killed at an early age. But not only is she a robot, apparently she's also Baby. At least that's what I remember reading about, okay? In the books, Charlotte's robot, or like the adult version of her robot, was also able to look like normal Circus Baby thanks to the pins on her body that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, that's the epitome of horror. Who in their right mind would think of a concept like that? And if it was real, we would all be goners, okay? This is like the fembots from Austin Powers. That's basically what this is. And then all the down bads would be trying to give it to them, and then they'd get themselves scooped. I'm surprised it didn't happen in the novels, since that one guy had his gears turning, if you know what I mean, although he wasn't actually a robot. And if you do know what I mean, can you please explain it to me? Because I'm not even, I understand what's going on at this point. My brain is all mush thinking about this circle of logic going on. I don't want to, no. Getting close to the end, and at number 3, Lonely Freddy. Lonely Freddy already, in a way, kind of has a parallel in our world. I mean, like, kinda. It's like the trope where someone becomes your friend and then becomes more like you and then tries to take over your life. Is that a thing? Is that actually a thing? I don't know. Maybe I dreamt about it ages ago and then forgot, or maybe it was like an episode of a show. I think it might have been a show. I don't know. But like, also just plain old identity theft is kind of another version of Lonely Freddy, just not as advanced. A Lonely Freddy was introduced in the Fazbear Frights books, and it's basically meant to explain what psychic friend Fredbear is, maybe, or at least that's what some people assume. But it's a robot that steals your body and then traps your consciousness into its original robot body. What the ever-loving hell? Why is that a thing? Why is that so goddamn terrifying? Especially in concept, right? But like if it was actually real, what the absolute living would I do, okay? It's easy to say that we could just avoid them, okay, but we wouldn't know that they existed, okay? We would just be lonely kids dreaming about having friends, and then all of a sudden a robot wants to be our friend, okay? It would be vicious, and it would definitely have gotten me when I was a kid. Okay, I really wanted a friend, but especially a friend that was a robot. That would have been sick, man. But ultimately, in number 2, reality-altering discs. I mention these every chance I get because of the implications, alright? They're insane. If you don't already know, the original FNAF novel trilogy revealed that the Twisted Animatronics used discs that transformed how others saw them, basically creating an illusionary appearance using sound emitting from the disc that messed with your brainwaves or whatever, however they explained it in the FNAF books. However, the mere existence of these discs puts everything we know about the series into question. How do we know if anything we see is real? FNAF 1 had us hallucinate different things, like it's me, along with multiple news clippings and posters, and if one of my other theories is right, even Golden Freddy himself. So like, what if that was just the discs? And if it was, what if other things were changed by the discs as well? Like, is that really what the pizzeria looked like? Do the animatronics have more of a rotten appearance than we see in the game? I don't know. And I don't like not knowing, alright? Unless it's about the creation of the universe, in which case that is, I don't need to like see Cthulhu and die, you know? And finally, into number 1, the spring locks. The spring lock mechanism is probably the most intuitive thing that FNAF's world has ever invented. The ability to move robotic parts out of the way enough for a human to fit inside a costume is nuts. And while it may be dangerous, we also drive over 100 kilometers an hour in huge metal death boxes, so we can't really complain about it. And actually, you know what? Yes, we can. And while yes, cars have their faults, there is nothing compared to the ability to be both animatronic and suit, okay? That's an incredible feat of technology. Yet, it's also terrifying because of the same reasons in game. Okay, someone can dress in it and then pretend to be a robot and then clamp down on you at any second. As it has multiple times before, okay? It can trap you. It could, if it were real, do everything we learn about from the books and the games. And it would make your life hell for fun. Especially when it can be a robot. Okay, and then the man who's once inside of it can like smile knowing that all your friends can't fight off a huge hunk of metal, you know? Like superpowers, basically. Oh, also, just saying, spring locks as they're presented in the games aren't real, okay? The real life spring locks are just locks on springs. It's like your deadbolt, but on a spring. That's basically what it is. So just don't even come at me in the comments. I know you were thinking it. Don't. That's all the time we have for today, though, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Charmaine Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Unless I get hit by a deadbolt by spring locks.